If it wasn't before, it most certainly is now. I'm of course talking about Manchester United being in crisis mode. A few weeks ago on this very channel, I suggested that Manchester United were on the precipice of disaster. I suggested that they were sleepwalking into a crisis, and when I used the word crisis, Manchester United fans were fairly vexed. They were fairly animated and they challenged me. They said, now Rory, of course, it's not a crisis. The season has just started and look at what Erik Ten Hag did last year. He achieved some wonderful things, and I agree. I think it's non-negotiable that Ten Hag did really well last year. It seemed, it felt, it appeared as if he had managed to break the cyclical pattern of crisis that has become endemic at Manchester United. And yet here we are. Manchester United fans now will be utterly at a loss as to where their club goes next. They are now definitely in a crisis. Let me just talk to you about the current standings of Group A. We're in the Champions League. It's Manchester United, and I think it's a fairly favourable group for them. The standings are as follows. Bayern Munich beat Copenhagen 2-1. So they have 100% record and they are top of the group. Galatasaray are in second on 4 points. Manchester United are rooted to the bottom of the group with their yield so far of 0 points out of 2 games for Manchester United. And that is bettered by Copenhagen, who drew with Galatasaray first match day in the group. Manchester United are below Galatasaray and Copenhagen in a Champions League group. They have lost both of their games. They have lost at home. Look, it was a spectacular game. You know, there was some wonderful moments. I was savouring the moments, watching the Galatasaray players celebrate in front of their fans. Incredible season. It has to go down as one of the best wins in the history of Galatasaray. It's a huge win to go to Old Trafford and win. And to be totally frank with you, I can't quite believe it. The boos were ringing out at Old Trafford again. And do you know what? So they should. I think sometimes people get a little bit high and mighty regarding booing. I think people suggest that it's not acceptable or it's not correct or it's not how you should behave. And what good does it do? Manchester United fans are correct. Manchester United fans have the right to boo this team. What they are witnessing is totally and utterly unacceptable. Manchester United could easily have won that game, but they shot themselves in the foot through some appalling, unacceptable defensive lapses. Like, I don't want to take anything away from Galatasaray there. The way I position that, start talking about the Manchester United lapses, it was unjust. Like, it was an amazing result for Galatasaray. Like, never say die attitude, fought to the bitter end. Icardi, unbelievable. Zaha, obviously scoring against his former club, obviously. But the defensive lapses were truly ridiculous. Galatasaray did well. You know, they took their chances, and ultimately, I think it's fair to say that they were the more committed team across the 90 minutes. So fair play. Well done, Galatasaray. But what does this say about Manchester United? 6 defeats in 10 games. 6 defeats for Manchester United at the start of the season. Out of 10 games, 60% of the games that Manchester United play end in defeat. And where do they go next? I mean, the season is 10 games old for Manchester United and they have 6 defeats. But that only begins to tell half the story, really. It was a night that I think encapsulates who Manchester United are. If you want to know who Manchester United are, if you want to watch just one game to use it as a microcosm to understand who Manchester United are currently, watch this game. They were so full of self-sabotage. They pressed the self-destruct button. They are falling apart again. Manchester United are falling apart again. I mean, for Ten Hag, a defeat to Galatasaray, United's second defeat in Europe, it really does have all the hallmarks of a crisis, and Ten Hag will know this. Think about what a crisis means, right? If you analyse being in a crisis, what happens when you're in a crisis? Think about the key indicators to suggest that a team is in crisis. What would you suggest? I can think of a few right off the top of my head. I would say that a team maybe throws away a lead. They did it twice. I would say a team throws away a lead at home. They did it twice. I would say maybe the keeper does something crazy. bit of, the keeper does something. Bearing in mind that the keeper is Erik ten Hag's main man. I would say that's part of being in a crisis. I would also say somebody gets sent off. Maybe one of your experienced pros gets sent off. Somebody who should know better. I would also say there was something striking listening to Christian Eriksen speak after the game. He was talking about his dressing room. Now, this is huge. This is the one thing to take from this, actually. Christian Eriksen said something that I don't think he would have realised was quite so intriguing, quite so revealing about who Manchester United are. They've just lost at home in Europe to Galatasaray. And he says that the dressing room was incredibly quiet. That's such a red flag for me. The dressing room should not be quiet. The dressing room should be full of personality. It should be angry. It should be animated. It should be vexed. It should be hateful. It should be loud. It should be noisy. It should be disruptive. And it should be passionate. A quiet dressing room off the back of that. Would it have been quiet when Rio Ferdinand was playing for Manchester United? Genuinely. Answer me. Would it have been quiet if this exact result had happened and Rio Ferdinand was in the team? Would it be quiet? Would it be quiet if Wayne Rooney was in the team? Would it be quiet if, go back a generation, would Steve Bruce be quiet? Would Brian Robson be quiet? A quiet dressing room off the back of that. Casemiro sent off. Giving up the lead at home twice. If that isn't a crisis, I really don't know what is. So I think that they are really in trouble. And it's a shame for them because there were moments I think they can cling on to. Obviously, Rasmus Højlund on the score sheet looked lively, looked like a good player. So I think he'll be really happy. But I think that he will probably be beginning to understand quite what a troubled club he has joined. Scoring 2 goals. First goals at Old Trafford as well. And yet, there was so much chaos at the other end that it's almost difficult to even talk about them. He scored 2 goals and it never really looked like it was going to be enough. He could have never thought, despite scoring twice, that he was going to be on the winning side. So where Manchester United go from here, I don't know. Their next 3 games, by the way, Brentford at Old Trafford, Sheffield United away, and Copenhagen at home, before they face Manchester City in the derby. That run does not look so straightforward off the back of tonight. And I really do not know where they go from here, United, because they are looking totally and utterly all over the place. I don't really know who they are anymore. And it makes me think, remember when they played in about 93, Eric Cantona and that played for Manchester United against Galatasaray, and it was all the Welcome to Hell banner. There's a very famous tifo made by the Galatasaray fans, Welcome to Hell. I tell you what, that wasn't hell for them. That team won the league, didn't it? And then they won the double the next year, 94. They're in hell at the moment because Erik ten Hag is totally and utterly all over the place. And this Manchester United team are completely and utterly a shambles. Is Erik ten Hag the right man? I don't know. Is he capable of righting this wrong? I genuinely don't know. Fascinating though. Fascinating how it's gone. Thank you for watching this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have I been too harsh? Do you agree that Manchester United are in crisis? Do you think Erik ten Hag is the right man to lead them back to the promised land? Feels like a stretch to me. As always, I really appreciate you watching this video, so please give it a like, and it would be my honour if you would join the community and click that subscriber button. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day.